We are going to be doing a Monday to Friday vlog. That's how we stay organized in this house. I just did my 800th ride. This is England, unfortunately. And it's basically about these two women. I did get my Labubu. That is just not true. I lied. Good morning. As somebody who is very firmly a type A personality, where possible, the vlog has to start on a Monday. That's just the way it's got to be. But I wash my hair on a Monday, so it's come to my attention recently while I've been, you know, like editing and posting vlogs, that if you are new to my channel, if this is the first video that you're ever seeing, you are entering into my vlog and this is the first like image of me that you're greeted with. I'm so sorry, guys. I do sometimes look more put together than this. It's just Mondays and Fridays are my hard cardio days, so they're the days that I wash my hair. What's the girl gotta do? That's just how it be. But today we're doing something, well, it's not a unique concept by any means, but we're doing something a little bit different in that we are going to be doing a Monday to Friday vlog. So we've been doing some long weekends recently, which has been nice, but we're going to do the reverse. You're going to follow me for a work week, I guess. This work week is not a conventional one by any means. It is fairly typical at the moment, but I am also going to be working this weekend, so this is going to be like a full 7-day situation for me, but we're just going to be covering Monday to Friday. There's a couple of reasons for this. One is that I fumbled Charlotte or Scrap It. It's not going to be ready for when I needed it to be, so this vlog that was going to go up next week, well, this has to be ready instead. The second reason is that I have a book that I need to read for Sunday, and it would be nice if for once I finished it on a day before the live show, and that is A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. A little bit more about this in a second. And the third reason is that I have a pretty exciting week coming up. I think I have 2 publishing events in London that I'm going to be attending, so I get to take you guys with me, because with filming Charlotte or Scrap It over like recent weeks, I have been to a couple of events in London that I have made reels for and TikToks if you want to get a little glimpse into what's been going on, but I haven't covered any of them in a vlog, I think, since June. So seeing as I have 2 in 1 week, seeing as I was going to be vlogging anyway this week for A Time of Dread, I thought it would be cool if I took you with me. So this is the book in question that we're going to be tackling. I do also hope to read at least 2 or 3 other books this week. We'll see how that goes, but Time of Dread is going to be my focus because the Catch Up Book Club live show for this is on Sunday at 8 p.m. It is a shorter one, so I'm less worried about it than I was when we were reading The Faithful and the Fallen, but I'm really excited to get into this one and also to talk to you guys about it, because this is the first book in the spin-off series to The Faithful and the Fallen. So the series is called Of Blood and Bone. This one is a trilogy where The Faithful and the Fallen was 4 books, and at this point I don't know very much about it, so we'll be learning about this one at the same speed, I guess. All I know is that it's set like 100 to 150 years after the events of Wrath, which is the last book in The Faithful and the Fallen. So all of the characters, for the most part, in that series are human, so I think we're only going to have 1 or 2 recurring characters, and they are going to be the more mystical creatures in the land, and all of the characters that we know and love, I think, are unfortunately going to be dead, but I believe that their legacy prevails. I am going to be giving you some information about like what this series is about, as it is a new series in its own right, but I am of course going to be sensitive to the fact that this is a spin-off series, so I'm not going to be giving you any spoilers for The Faithful and the Fallen or anything that I feel like you shouldn't know if you haven't dipped your toes into John Gwynne's Banished Lands world yet. I did actually just check how long this one is. This is the new cover as well. They've just reprinted the covers just in time for me to get my hands on them to match The Faithful and the Fallen. I mean, neither of the iterations of this cover are the most beautiful things I've ever seen. The spines match, and I feel like the spine is the thing that I look at the most, so I did decide to pick up this edition. But it's only 450 pages. It is a small text for 450 pages. I might also, because I did that little focus tips vlog, didn't I? And that honestly changed my life. I will admit there has been a week since I finished filming that, and I've started filming this like I'm here with you guys today. And I have struggled in the week in between to maintain the level of discipline that I had in that vlog, obviously, because I had to do it for a vlog. So I'm hoping, because I have quite a bit that I do want to read through this week, that I can try and knuckle down and get back into that level of focus again, so I can have this one done for Friday. I do have a 24-hour readathon with my patrons starting on Saturday night, which is why I kind of want to wrap up this book and move on to something else for the weekend. And the live show, actually, if you're watching this when I imagine it's going up, because there's a little unrealistic part of me that thinks that I'm going to read 3.5 books between now and Thursday and manage to get Shelve It or Scrap It up for you guys on Sunday, but that's probably not going to happen. So this vlog is probably going up instead, in which case, if you're watching it as soon as it's published, the live show for this is in 2 hours if you want all of the tea. I'll link it down below. And if not, you can always watch it back. I am also participating in Magical Readathon, of course. I have, at this point, the only subject that I have left for my call-in is demonology, and this one covers the first prompt for demonology, which is a book with an emotion in the title. Obviously, we have dread. And I'm also reading the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook by Matt Dinnerman. I have 3.5 hours left of the audio of that. So if I could finish that this week as well, that would be really great. And that one is for the second demonology prompt, which is to read a book that features a lair or a dungeon or some sort of hideaway. And obviously that entire series takes place in a dungeon. And then the third book I'm going to be covering in Shelve or Scrap It, and I haven't picked yet. So yeah, the main thing that we need to get done this week is a lot of reading. I do have 2 pretty long trains to and from London, or 4 I guess, because I'm going to and from London twice. That is peak reading time for me. I actually just posted a reel last week, which is how much can I read on a train to London. Might actually do a repeat of that this week to really motivate me to read some more. So I'm not especially worried that I'm going to get a lot read. And I'm actually here for it. This was going to be a really, really mega work week for me when I thought there was a hope of me getting Shelve It or Scrap It out. And I'll be honest, like, it's relieved the pressure a little bit by accepting that that's not going to happen. So today I'm going to be starting off with some admin. I need to put my August Patreon bookmark in for print. I have an invoice to send, a contract for a sponsor to look over. I want to do like an hour of editing on Shelve It or Scrap It, because that just becomes an overwhelming editing project if I don't try and keep on top of it a little bit. And I don't know what video I'm posting on Thursday. I think I want it to be a recommendations video, but I don't know what the theme of that is going to be. So if I could also work that out, that would be great. And then maybe we can get on to reading and see if I can get through. I think I need to do 90 pages a day. So we'll see if I can do 90 pages of this today as well. You said you want to let you dance for a minute, take a chance for a minute, baby free. So I've started my day by getting organized, so I wanted to show you guys a little bit of how I do that, because I do get questions about what I use to plan, how I do manage to stay organized. So my first port of call is my monthly spread. This is where I put obviously my video schedule, my upload schedule. I also have any sponsors of the videos in here. These are the 2 events that we're going to this week, so there's a little glimpse of what's going to be going on. And I also put, for the most part, my personal appointments in here, just so I know where I have to be and when. If I know what the videos are, I know how long they're going to take. Like Shelve It or Scrap It takes me a lot longer to edit than like a regular weekly reading vlog does. So I know I need to start editing that earlier in the week than if it's like a TBR that I'm making, which tend to be quite quick videos to put together. This is my staple planner. If I don't have any other planners on the go, because sometimes depending on the week, I don't use anything else, but this is the one that I always need. And then if you have a week where I'm not super busy this week necessarily, it's not that I have a lot to do this week, it's just I have some bits going on, so everything needs to be done at a certain time for everything to be done for when it has to be done for. And so because of that, I've broken it down into my weekly planner, which I don't use this every single week, only on the weeks where I have a little bit more going on. So this is essentially my to-do lists for the week. It has all of my live shows, so I know where I need to be and when in that regard, as well as everything that needs doing on every day. So I already know that I need to film and edit on here, but I don't know what the video is going to be. So when I figure that out and plan the video over here, I'll put film, video, edit, schedule, blah, blah, blah onto this one. And then by the time we've done these 3 days, this day is then going to be full of everything that didn't get done throughout the rest of the week, which is why these are blank. This is like my shopping list for tomorrow, because I've run out of a lot of makeup, which is really frustrating. And I want to go look at Pop Mart for a birthday present for a friend, and I'm going to film a reel in Waterstones in London as well, so I need a reminder to do that. I have my 90 pages a day of a time of dread, because that's what we're doing for this vlog. And then if anything comes up in the week, I'll then add it onto a list for a day, so that I know that it needs to be done. And then we also have, this is a new one that I have added in, because I am now balancing 5 social media platforms, and it is a lot. So if you guys didn't know, I have mentioned it recently, I am now posting on Instagram and TikTok. A lot more frequently for Instagram, but I am now posting on TikTok. So because I'm then making short form content, I'm also cross-posting to YouTube Shorts. And then we do, of course, just have my YouTube and Patreon as usual. So I now have this so that I can see ahead everything that needs to be done. And especially on a week like this week, where I know it's going to be harder for me to keep on top of things like the reels, I did start to work on ticking these off last week so that I didn't have to do it this week. So essentially, if they have a double tick next to them, 1 tick means they've been made and 2 ticks mean that they're scheduled and they're good to go. So as you can see, I have been working ahead. I need to swap this out because I'm going to swap this for the reel that I'm making on Tuesday. But aside from that, I think, oh, these two, no need swapping over, which is why I do this one in pencil, because things obviously are subject to change. So that is my 3 planners that I use on a regular basis. These 2 at the minute are definitely staples because I need this because I've been filming a lot of short form content in advance, and then I need to like filter it into a schedule somehow. And then this one is for the weeks get especially busy and I have a lot to keep track of. So yeah, that's how we stay organized in this house. And this isn't even, aside from the fact I've got like my dentist appointment and stuff in here, this isn't my personal stuff. This is all just work. Well, I am awfully backlit. I apologize. I'm trying out some new angles. We're going for variety here, but I've just had my lunch. It's 1:30 p.m. and I've pretty much done everything on my to-do list already. Today was just a day about getting organized for the rest of the week, really. I have 3 things left on my to-do list, but it's all stuff that I added later on as I was working, just like jotting extra things down, which I may do because it's so early. I still have time to do those things as well. But I thought that I would do a little 45-minute focused reading session to start a time of dread while I've already ticked a bunch of stuff off my to-do list, because this week, as well as reading this book for the live show, I am also reading for Shelve It or Scrap It. So if I can get my daily allocated pages of this out of the way like pretty early on, that frees up the rest of my day/evening to read some other things. So I'm very excited about this actually. It's a bit of a change of pace from what I've been reading recently, and I'm very interested to see like how it differs from the original series. Don't know if I have access to an audiobook for this, so I might just go with like a themed playlist. It's really funny because I completed my bean room. We were talking about this, how I paid $1.99 for the like pro membership, and I was like, cool, I'll just fill my room and then I will stop my subscription. The same day that I filled my room, they did an update and added an extra room on. So now I've got an extra room to fill. So we'll do a little 45-minute reading sprint, which will take me to 2:15, and see how much I can read. Would you dance for a minute? Change your plans for a minute. We're living free. You said you want, so would you dance for a minute? And take a chance for a minute. We're living free. You said you want, would you dance for a minute? Change your plans for a minute. We're living free. The dead is bad. I wanna brave for you, wanna brave for you. So I just did my 800th ride on Peloton. I did the 30-minute rock ride with Emma Lovewell from today, the 15th of September. And I got not just 1, but 2 800 ride milestone shout outs.
Becca 800, Mr. Future, MD, Gym and Tonic.
She forgot that she'd already done it and she did it again. And I'm not mad about it. Honestly, I put a lot of hard work in. I deserve that recognition, but I'm starving now. And it's like, it's 3:30, so it's like not super close to dinner, but I feel like I don't want to have a snack. So I'm actually going to go make some banana bar because I've been really wanting to do that for a while. And then we got some ice cream from Lidl that had peanut butter in it, and frozen peanut butter. Guys, why have I not been eating frozen peanut butter? So I'm going to make the banana bark now. It doesn't take very long, and then get that in the freezer, have a shower, and then hopefully the chocolate and stuff will be frozen enough to have some after dinner, which I'm pretty sure it doesn't take long to freeze actually. Good morning. I'm just about ready to head out. My train is in about 30 minutes, so I've got 15-20 minutes before I need to leave. But I wanted to do a bit of an outfit of the day. I normally do these upstairs, but we're selling some of the furniture we've had in storage on Facebook Marketplace, and unfortunately our bedroom is the biggest room in the house, so when we need extra space for things like that, they get assembled in the bedroom. So we'll do it down here. I'm a little bit worried about the weather today though, because I'm really hot right now. I have obviously been moving around and the heating has clicked on this morning, but I know in London it's starting off pretty cool. It's going to go up to like 19 degrees and then it's going to come back down again. So I can't do what I have been doing, which is just go in like a summer dress because the temperature isn't consistent enough. But I'm also quite aware that I'm going to be very, very hot because I'm taking my leather jacket as well just to have it. But I think I'm going to carry it around all day, which obviously isn't great. But in terms of what I'm wearing right now, jeans I'm pretty sure every time I do an outfit of the day, I'm wearing these jeans actually. I do have more than one pair of jeans, but these are my newest ones, so they are my favourites. I got them on Vinted for £25. They're from Abercrombie. Abercrombie is my favourite place to get jeans from because of the way that they do the sizing. I have this shirt on that I got from a vintage store, I think a couple of years ago for my birthday. It is very autumnal. However, because it is vintage and it's like pretty well made, it's velvety and also a little bit thick. And then I have a vest on underneath so that I can wear it, you know, like a little bit more unbuttoned. But also, if I get real hot, the shirt can come off. Still got a vest on underneath. I think I'm going to put Docs on with this outfit. I've got my leopard print socks on from Lucy and Yak. And call it a day. I want to feel like more autumnal. And I thought this would be a good like September in London outfit. But I'm second guessing it. I don't feel like I ever adequately prepare for a like day trip to London because I can never be sure what the weather's going to be like. So in terms of where I'm going today, I know I gave you a sneak peek yesterday, but I'm going to the Muslim Romance Festival that is hosted by Orion Books. So it's like an evening event. It's not like an exclusive event or anything. It is just like a regular ticketed book event. But Orion Books were kind enough to invite me and I was like, hell yeah, I'll go. You know me. I'm always excited to go for a day out. So I do have that big shopping list of things that I need to grab. I've got a bunch of makeup I've run out of, and I also need to pick up some things, ideally if Pop Mart has them. Oh my god, guys, I won the raffle for the Big Into Energy Labubu that I've been trying to get my hands on since it was released, but obviously they're really hard to get. And because I don't live near a Pop Mart, I have to know when I'm going to somewhere that has a Pop Mart so that I can enter the raffle, because in the UK, grown men, like scalpers, were fighting over Labubus in the street. It was real messy. This is England, unfortunately. So we have to enter a raffle the weekend before you're going to go to Pop Mart to see if you can win the opportunity to go into a shop, and you have to put the specific shop you're going to in there to buy the Labubu, and then you have like a 4-day window to go and buy the Labubu. So obviously, like, my closest Pop Mart's like 2 hours away, so it's not easy for me to get there. But when I have been going to London, I've been entering the draw to see if I can get one, and this is the only time I've been successful. So I have a couple of things I'm looking for a friend, also one other thing that I'm looking for me, but they're out of stock online, so we'll see if they have any in store, and I'm gonna go pick up my Labubu. So I'm gonna go finish packing my bag. I'm not taking with me actually a Time of Dread today. I want to get a little bit further into this before I give you an update, because I'm 115 pages into it. I read a little bit of today's section while I was drinking coffee, but because it's like a multi-POV story, I think it's going to take me longer. Well, I know because I'm past 100 pages, it's going to take me longer than 100 pages to get to a point where I feel confident giving you a reasonably accurate overview of this book without spoilers. So we'll do that probably tomorrow, but I'm not going to take this with me. I am going to take my Kindle with me, which has the book that I'm currently reading for Shelve It or Scrap It on it. I think I've got like 250-ish pages of that book left. So my hope is to finish that today, because I'm actually filming a recommendations video tomorrow that's going to feature that book. Hopefully, if I like it. I am so far. So I'm hoping that I continue to enjoy it so I can put it in that recommendations video. So I want that done by tomorrow, and then tomorrow I will catch up on today and tomorrow's section of A Time of Dread and give you a little bit more information of what this one is about. But let's go to London. And it's basically about these two women, Dina and Maya, and they're both into football. They're both football coaches. One of them used to be a football player, and they're also exes, but you know, now they're coaching rival football teams, and they're back in each other's lives, and things are getting kind of messy, and old feelings are rising. Good afternoon. actually, I think at this point, because yes, it is now past 12. It took me a while to get myself together this morning. I did get home very, very late. I got home at 1 a.m. The trains though were so smooth, even pulling into the station a couple of minutes early on the way back. And on the way there, I wasn't even delayed by a minute anywhere. And I took 3 trains there and 1 train back and not a single delay. That never happened. So I was truly blessed. But I do always know that the day after a day in London, especially when it's a late one like last night, it takes me a hot second to get my shit together. When I got on the train back from London last night, my eyes were drier than the Sahara and I felt like death. I felt deceased when I woke up this morning. So it is unfortunate because today I have a long list of things that I need to film and it's overcast, it's raining, so my light isn't going to be great either, which is why I'm sat so far forward into the room. But before I get on to what I have to do today, I just want to say that the event last night was so cool. The panel especially was so interesting. 3 of the authors that were on there are ones that are debuting, so haven't been published yet. Their books are releasing either late this year or early next year. And then there was, I think it's Layla Rafi, who is a Muslim contemporary romance author. She said that she was like heavily influenced by just generally the romance genre and wanted to write those kind of stories with Muslim protagonists. So it was really cool just hearing her speak about her influences and why she wanted to write in this genre. And Soraya, is it Soraya Buazawi? Yeah, Soraya Buazawi is the author of Aisha, which is being released in March next year. I've seen arcs of it around actually, and it looks like the cover is so cool. And that one is, it has a romance subplot. I think it's mainly like a historical retelling, but also with like a fantastical element as well. So that sounds potentially interesting to me because I do like my historical fantasy, and a romance subplot, even if it's just a little one, does make it a smidge better for me. But I did want to show you what I got at that event because they had the little pink bags, which I'm sure you've seen in the B-roll somewhere. And I did open my little blind date with a book that I got in that bag. However, I did swap my book because it was definitely a gorgeous book and a lot of people were very excited when I unwrapped it, but it was poetry. And y'all know your girl doesn't read poetry. I just don't appreciate it. There are unfortunately a few different artistic mediums in this world that I truly just do not appreciate. I wish I could, but they do absolutely nothing for my brain. Poetry is one of them. Paintings, like galleries, also don't really do anything for me. Like I look at a painting and I'm like, it's either pretty or it's not. That's all I'm seeing. So I did swap it out for something that once again I wouldn't gravitate towards, but it is something that I'm definitely more interested and more likely to read than poetry, and it is The Chain. I have just looked up how to pronounce this author's name, and honestly I cannot find any reliable information. Everything that I found is kind of with different letters or accents on the letters or slightly different spelling. I would say like Chimini Suleiman, but I'm not sure if that's accurate. But anyway, this is a non-fiction about, I think, cycles of relationships. I think it specifically revolves around one particular man, but it's a memoir from this author. I'm not sure that she always writes nonfiction. So in 2017, this author went to an abortion clinic with her boyfriend, and that was the catalyst for her finding out some sort of information about him that I'm guessing was not great, but that encouraged her to explore how men, not all men, but some men, can continue to manipulate and also trick women into believing certain things about them, and how this is like a recurring cycle that keeps happening. So it sounds like something that I would definitely read. It's not something, like I said, that I would have gravitated towards, but with nonfiction, there's no particular area that I'm more drawn to than another. A lot of the nonfiction that I've read is stuff that I've kind of stumbled upon by accident. I will probably go for the audiobook for this because that's how I prefer to digest nonfiction, but I will definitely pick this one up at some point. And also there was a little bookmark making station where I made this like dried flower jar bookmark, which was really cute. I did mess it up a bit. I would have liked to have a do-over, but there wasn't enough dried flowers for that. So this will have to do. In terms of everything else I achieved in London yesterday, I got some of my makeup, not all of it. I might get some more on Friday, but I did not find the things that I wanted from Pop Mart for my friend. All the stuff that I wanted just wasn't there. So I did end up getting her something else from somewhere else, but I did get my Labubu, so we're gonna open her up for you guys today. It is the Big Into Energy range, which I've been desperate to get my hands on since they were announced, which was shortly after I picked up my macaron Labubu in Hong Kong, and this is my first opportunity to get my hands on this. In terms of what I'm looking for in this one, I feel like the pictures on the box don't do the colours actual justice, but I actually like the majority of these. I don't really want Serenity, which is the green one, just because my macaron Labubu is green, but I wouldn't be like upset if I did get that one because I do like it. Happiness is a bit more muted than the others, so I think my preference is weirdly loyalty because that's a pink one, and we know if you saw my reel when I unboxed the Have a Seat Labubu, pink was not the one that I wanted. I do really like Love though, looks pretty cool. Hope, not my favorite, but I would pretty much be happy with any of them. The Secret is black and grey as well, so definitely won't be mad at that one, but let's see what we've got. I'm nervous, especially after when I did the Have a Seat and I got the only one that I didn't want. I think it might be the pink one based on the like little bit that I've just seen there. Oh, these are packaged different. Oh no, it's a drawstring bag. Okay, so it's not indicative of the colour. This is an interesting choice of packaging compared to what I've seen before. Is it the purple one? It is! Brie, no, he's not for you, Brie. He's so fluffy. Which one is he? What's he called? Look, I'm not mad about purple. I don't have a purple one yet either because my macaron is green. My Have a Seat is pink. And now we have the purple. I'm so happy that I finally got one of these, although material, I didn't realize that they were quite so different from the others. You got little glittery eyes as well. What's the little card for these? Oh, they're not as cool as the macaron ones, and I accidentally left my macaron one outside in the garden. That concludes yesterday. I have not read enough of this yet. I've read an extra chapter this morning, so I'll give you some more information about this hopefully tonight. I have a bunch to film though, as I said, so luckily I can take one thing off my to-do list because I filmed this update, but I need to update, shelve or scrap it. Sadly did not finish my book on the train yesterday. I read 157 pages, I think. I made a reel about it that you'll see at some point. Speaking of reels, I do also have a couple of reels to film today. I'm pretty sure that this is from Penguin Michael Joseph, and it has a early finished copy of Alchemized in it, which is exciting, so I'm gonna make a reel about that. I also have one more reel on my list just because when I'm ready to film I take advantage and try and get a couple of reels out so that I have them backlogged. And then the big thing is my YouTube video that's going up tomorrow, which I wanted filmed and editing today. Don't know how realistic that is now because I'm hungry, I haven't eaten, and it's now lunchtime, so I'm gonna go do that. So I don't know how realistic it is that I will film and edit today, but I have tomorrow to edit anyway, as long as I get everything filmed. And the book that I wanted, that I was reading yesterday, is obviously not gonna make it into that video, but it's fine because I had a backup anyway, although not ideal, but we'll save it for the next one.
I know you said you wanna break free, God gave his own, came to a toll, call him a homeless an angel. Angel. I know you said you wanna break free, God gave his own, came to its own, call him a homeless an angel.
I just got out of the bath. It was very, very much needed. I felt a little bit tired today, so I wanted the time to relax, decompress. I had a warm compress over my eyes because they've been feeling a little tired, a little dry today, and honestly it's worked wonders. I feel so much better. I did do some reading in the bath as well. I only had the compress for like 10 minutes, but I'm only on page 170, so I'm 70 pages away from where I really need to be today, which is unfortunate, and it is now like 10:40, I think. So I don't think I'm going to quite hit the page 240 mark, which means I'm going to have to roll over some for tomorrow. I am doing reading sprints tomorrow with my patrons in the evening, but I have a whole ton of other stuff I need to do, so I'm not sure how much of a productive reading day tomorrow is going to be either, but we'll see. Fingers crossed, because I am of course still reading for Shelve or Scrap It as well. I was going to say the never ending episode. None of them ever end. They all just go on forever and ever, but I think I can tell you a little bit more about this now. The issue is though, is that I did tell you that I would give you a little bit of an overview of this without spoilers, but I feel like the main issue that they're having in this world is so much of a spoiler for the last book in The Faithful and the Fallen that I'm not sure if I can manage it. You kind of got to read this as its own separate series. I think that I would be very overwhelmed if I tried to read this without reading The Faithful and the Fallen, just because we have these kind of like species in this world, and without the slow build up and the gradual exploration of the world within The Faithful and the Fallen, I'm not sure if I would be as grounded in the world if I hadn't read it, because I feel like I really need all of that lore. Like the mention of some some of the creatures and some of the things that happened in the past are just like reference points to me. I'm not sure if they were the entirety of the information that I was getting about each specific aspect, whether I would be really getting a full picture of what's going on. Because even though I am familiar with this world, bouncing between the characters, I am still currently 170 pages into this, getting my bearings. It is once again a multi-perspective series like The Faithful and the Fallen. I feel like we have slightly fewer perspectives. Honestly, I haven't counted them. I think we have 4 or 5. We have one who is part of the Order of the Bright Star. There's one who's like one of the White Wings. Then there is a character who is a giant from the first series. She is the only giant perspective we have so far, and also the only recurring perspective from the other series. And then we also have a boy who lives very far away from everybody else, providing a very different perspective. I think I'm enjoying his the most. And a boy who's from a different community that has found himself in the same area with everyone else. So let's try and break this down for you without spoilers. There are consequences to what happened at the end of The Faithful and the Fallen. There was a change in the equilibrium and the power of the world, which solved the problem that they were dealing with at the end of The Faithful and the Fallen, or throughout the entire thing to some degree, but it did leave the world forever changed. And the world is finding that they are not dealing with this change as well as they expected. The people who are now in control of this world are a little bit power hungry, like the collar is chafing a little bit. The everyday person is not really appreciating the people that they have left in authority. That is because there is this eternal evil that the people of the world are trying to vanquish, and these new people in power believe that there is only one enemy. So kingdoms don't have the ability to go to war like they used to. They're not allowed to, like if they have a disagreement with a different kingdom, they're not allowed to go to war because these people will intervene and they will punish them for fighting each other when there's this greater evil that everybody should, in their mind, be banding together to face. And this obviously is not desirable for a lot of people, because what these people in authority are then doing is taking these communities into what they're calling the land of the faithful, and they're erasing the identity and the culture and the practices of all of these places that they're essentially colonizing at this point. And they're asking these people to give tithes of warriors to be trained in their specific way of life, their specific practices, to give up the ways of fighting that is very intrinsic to their culture and community to become part of this army. And obviously, like, a lot of the people from the kingdoms that are being taken over and now controlled are not really happy about this, and there is a lot of tension. So there is one character who is a trainee in this army, and she has like anger issues. So she's failed her trials to become one of these White Wings. I feel like her anger issues, though, because it's like a blind rage, it reminds me a lot of Logan from the first Law series by Joe Abercrombie. So I feel like there's going to be some sort of reason. I hope that there's some sort of reason why she has these temper issues. It seemed a little bit mystical, if I'm being honest. There is also a character who is from one of these communities where his clan went to war with a different clan. These are like the, oh my god, like what are the real world Dothraki called? Why can I never remember? The people that Genghis Khan led. That's the Mongolian Empire, right? Oh my god, I was right. So I feel like their culture is very much based on the Mongol Empire. The two clans that are neighboring within this world went to war, and these people in authority, I'm really being very specific about telling you, like, not telling you who they are, but essentially they came in and was like, you can't do this. So they took the heirs of each of the clans and brought them to the like base where they're situated in the center of the Kingdom of the Fallen, and have taken them as wards. It's kind of, you know, like a medieval hostage situation where as long as everyone plays nice, then these kids won't be killed. So they're growing up in this environment where they're kind of getting to know the way that these people live, but they're also still resentful that they've been taken from their homes. You also have a character called Drem, and he lives like way up north with his dad, and this is an area that in The Faithful and the Fallen is called the Desolation, but this has since been turned into habitable land, and a lot of people have moved up there to get away from the rule of these people, but they know that it's kind of inevitable that this system, this government, is going to come for them too. The main character of Drem, him and his father are trappers, so they go up into the mountains for like 6 months. They get a bunch of animal skins and they come back and they sell it over winter. And even in the 6 months that they've been gone, this town that is still like a relatively new town, but it's like quadrupled in size in just the 6 months that they've been gone, with people fleeing from this rule that they just don't agree with and don't want to be part of. We also have the recurring character from the previous series. I won't tell you much about her because I don't want to reveal obviously who it is, but I will say a lot of the giants that are present in The Faithful and the Fallen that we see at the very end are still present in this series. It's just we only have one who does have their own perspective. The rest of them are just like influential figures in the world, which is really nice to see. And then we have one more perspective who I have forgotten again. Oh, I feel like they're part of the Order of the Bright Star, which is similar to the Academy that nobody likes, like the system that nobody likes. Everyone seems okay with the Order of the Bright Star, which I'm really happy about, but it's interesting because where we left The Faithful and the Fallen, these two orders weren't at odds with each other, but right now they're very separate things. And I feel like as time has grown, like even though they're all fighting the same bad guys, even though they were both created to take down the same evil, they have grown apart over the century as well. So that's kind of where we're starting. That obviously, I mean, I gave you a pretty long synopsis there and I managed to do it without really any spoilers, especially out of context as well. If you haven't even started The Faithful and the Fallen, you won't have a clue what I'm talking about. So far, I don't really have an opinion on it because I'm just getting to grips with it. You'd think that I would be more immersed in it considering I have already read a series in this world, but a lot has changed over the last 100 years. The map has changed, the world order has changed, and like I said, a lot of people who were friendly with each other, at least amicably, at the end of The Faithful and the Fallen, seem to have maybe gone in different directions, and we haven't seen these people fully come together yet. We have revisited some places though and met some of like the descendants of some of the human characters, which is really cool as well. And I'm interested to see what the main conflict of this is going to be, because I know what everyone's problem is, but I don't really know what the solution is going to be at the end of this, because I feel like it could go one of two ways, but I don't know what it is because I don't really understand the purpose of this series. We are trying to fight this eternal evil, but at this point, like, I don't know if that is actually the end goal or not. I guess I'll find out in a few months when I finish this series. I sincerely hope that I do not look as rough as I feel right now, but I also know that that is a long shot. Because I got out of bed this morning, I kind of just threw something on and I've been working through today's to-do list. It's now 3 o'clock. I'm doing sprints tonight at 6. So when I'm doing Patreon sprints, I start at 6 p.m. if I'm doing evening ones. And I typically finish my work day at 4 instead of 5 so that I can get an early dinner. But if I need to get a workout in as well, I then finish at 3, which gives me the extra hour for the workout, the early dinner, and then I can set up for sprint. So right now I am supposed to be getting my workout in, but I am so tired. My hormones are kicking my ass. And there's two different types of tired, okay? There is the kind of tired where I go get on my bike right now and the endorphins, the blood flow, they make me feel amazing. And this is like a bad dream. It's like it never happened. And then there's the tired, which honestly more like fatigue, which I do sometimes get as a symptom of PMS, where I get on the bike and I realize I've made a terrible mistake. There's no pushing through this and it feels like I'm wading through mud. And the frustrating thing about it though is that there is no predicting which one of those two tireds I am until I get on the bike and I try. So do I spend 30 minutes trying to work through this, or do I spend 30 minutes trying to rest? Because I've already had like a pretty long day this week and I spent yesterday recovering from that, obviously, while I was still working. Obviously, because the hormones are hormoning, it takes a little bit longer for me to bounce back. So now I'm like, do I rest up for tomorrow? Do I work out? I have no idea. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on it because it's boring, but I just wanted to let you know the predicament I'm in today. I have been working through my to-do list a little bit though, so I edited and scheduled the video for today. I did that this morning. I scheduled my Patreon post for the rest of the week, so we have the Alpha Ho book club announcement going up tomorrow. This is my Patreon book club. It's a fantasy romance read-along book club, so if you're familiar with Catch Up Book Club, which is epic fantasy, it's the same, but it's romantasy series. So the series that we've selected for this season, shall we say, because it's going to end next April, is the Legends of Thesmar series by Helen Shora, which I'm really excited about because I read book 1 for the romantasy rundown earlier this year and I did really enjoy it. It's like a warrior romantasy where this girl is desperate to be one of these warriors of Thesmar, but there is a prophecy in this world that states that a woman who wields a blade is going to end the world. So they've essentially stopped women from training to be warriors and from wielding weapons, but our main character finds herself an exception to the rule and she is assigned to this very reclusive legend of Thesmar who are like the next level of these warriors. And obviously it's like I don't think it's quite hate to love, it's more like reluctant friendship, because they're forced together and they grow on each other. I'm pretty sure there is a rule that you're not supposed to like date within the Warriors of Thesmar because your main goal is to be dedicated to the realm and the protection of the realm. So it is a little bit taboo for them in that regard as well. But I really liked book one and I'm excited to be continuing on with this one with my patrons. That one's going to be starting in October. We have 2 months to read the first 2 books, like 2 months each, because they're over 500 pages. We are also reading the prequel standalone, which is Slaying the Shadow Daddy. It's not Daddy. Slaying the Shadow Prince. King. Just look at my Patreon post. Slaying the Shadow Prince. And that one's quite a short one. That's like 300 or something pages. And then the last 2 books are under 500 pages. So we'll be reading those 3 books in February, March, and April. If anybody wants to get involved, Patreon always linked down below. Didn't even mean to plug my Patreon here, but I mean, if you want to join, I won't be mad about it. So I did that. And then I've also scheduled the sprint links for this weekend's 24-hour readathons with my patrons. They're bi-monthly. I do one like every single month, but if you're in like the bottom tier of my Patreon, then they're bi-monthly. If you're on one of the 2 upper tiers, then you have a 24-hour readathon every single month. This month it is for the 2 upper tiers, so their links will go up on Saturday, and I will be spending Saturday editing this vlog, which I have also just started. I've edited like the first 7 minutes, spent some time looking for some new vlog music. I hope you all enjoyed it. But now I think I'm going to try, because normally I do like 50 minutes on the bike. I think I'm going to go for 30 minutes with an instructor who I know isn't very difficult, and if I feel good after that 30 minutes, I'll add 20 minutes on, and if I don't feel good, I'll kind of just like pare it back and do a real low-key ride and then hop off and get myself in the shower. But I feel like that is the best middle ground that I can find right now. I would love to nap, if I'm being honest, but a nap for me, I'm not a very good napper. I'm a very good sleeper, not a good napper. If I fall asleep, it's at least 2 hours. I do not do a 20-minute nap. So considering I need to still wash my hair, and at some point in this evening I'm gonna have to blow dry my hair and put petrol in my car for tomorrow, and I need to get up at 6 tomorrow as well. So the fact that I'm feeling quite drained in general, it's not working out in my favor. But yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll try a workout, see how it goes, and reconvene for sprints later, because I need to read, man. I am on page 182. I haven't read anything today. I got up nice and early this morning and opted to take Brie for a walk and jump straight into my to-do list instead of reading with my coffee. So I've got a lot of catching up to do.
We're going to start with a faster plan where we increase pace. Leg speed goes up.
This particular playlist to me is like visit Hot Topics kind of vibe.
Okay, I am exactly where I was the last time you saw me. A lot of time has passed though. It is now almost 9 p.m. I just finished sprints with my patrons. I actually didn't read too much. I have made some progress though. I'm on page 222. I want to get to page 250 before I go to sleep at a minimum. 300 was the dream, so I had 150 for the train to and from London tomorrow. But alas, I don't think we're going to make it there. I am still confident though, because I'm driving part of the way tomorrow instead of getting a train to the place I normally connect to. I'll fill you in the morning, but essentially my trains tomorrow will only be like an hour and a half each way instead of 3 hours ish. So not quite as much reading, but hopefully enough to get me through the end of this book. I just wanted to let you know that my day did massively improve after my workout. It was a case of needing the workout to shake me out of it, and honestly, I am a proud Peloton cult member. There is not a lot in my life that Peloton does not fix, and obviously it doesn't fix things, but sometimes, like, if you're just feeling terrible, you're really down on yourself because you don't feel good and you're unmotivated, Peloton is like there for me. Especially Cody Rigsby, who I didn't do today, but normally, like, if I'm in a real down place, Cody Rigsby is the man for me, and he makes everything so much better. So that definitely turned my day around, which is good, before I had to interact with people in a live show because I was not in a great place earlier. But now I've been to fill my car up, dried my hair. I have no idea what I'm wearing tomorrow because it's 25 degrees in London, and that's just horrible. I'm in autumnal mode now, and it's really annoying because today in London 20 degrees, tomorrow in London 25, Saturday in London 20, and then for the next week nothing above 17. Why tomorrow? I also have, in the next 10-day period, I have the event that I'm going to tomorrow, I have a wedding next weekend, and then I have a weekend in London, like a social trip for my friend's birthday. We're going to see Hercules. So I'm trying to think of like all these things that I'm going to and what I'm going to wear for each one, and I'm coming up blank. But I have to get up at 6, so I really want that sorted before I go to bed. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna try and get myself some sleep, because with the mood that I've been in recently, the last thing that I want to do is get up at 6 and go out for a long day when I'm not well rested. So I'm going to try and make sure that I have a strong foundation to tackle the day to come. Good morning. I am feeling bright-eyed and bushy-tailed considering I got up at 6:30. So it's time for my fit of the day. Before I leave, I have 10 to 15 minutes before I'm setting off. I am going to take my leather jacket with me this time though. Don't ask me why, because it was hotter the other day. No, colder the other day. And I didn't take it with me. But I feel like it completes my outfit today because I have this dress, which I do like. I just feel like it's a little big. Like this elasticated bit, because it's elasticated, I feel should be tight. And it isn't. So I have the leather jacket because it's only 17 degrees here. And when I get back later, it'll probably be something similar. And I'm going to put my docs on as well because I don't feel summery. And the 25 degrees I'm struggling to come to terms with. So this dress is from Nobody's Child, but it is a vintage purchase. I think I paid like £10 for it. Leather jacket, All Saints, staple investment wardrobe piece, Doc Martens from Doc Marten. I'm taking my trusty Don't Books tote with me because it's the biggest, strongest tote that I've got. Honestly, I still need to get my water in there. It's really heavy. So today's event is a afternoon tea, a fairy loot afternoon tea with Hafsa Faisal. So I'm taking my We Hunt the Flame paperbacks to have signed, and I'm obviously going to be taking A Time of Dread, which, spoiler alert, did not get to page 250 last night. So I have like 220 pages to hopefully read on the train today, and the bag's heavy. So wish me luck, guys. I won't be in London as long as I was on Tuesday today because I am going to arrive at like 12:20. The afternoon tea starts at 2. So I'm going to go to Waterstones and pick myself up a book that I thought was released on Tuesday. So I went into Waterstones for it, didn't have it. So I'm going to go to Waterstones, I'm going to get that book, and then that's it. I'm going to go to the afternoon tea, maybe hang out for an hour or so afterwards, then get myself back home on the 7:50 train, and I should be nice, toasty and tucked up in bed before midnight. That is the plan, because I still have a weekend of live shows ahead of me. So I made it to Doncaster train station right on time, no delays, no traffic, and not to brag, but I actually managed to park in the station car park, which the last time I came there was not a single space, and they do have like around the corner a couple of extra, once again very small car parks that are £4 cheaper. So I'm going to pay an extra £4 for the privilege of being here, but there's actually quite a few spaces, so maybe I just came on a bad day before, because I'm coming back in at like when it's going to be dark as well, even though it's like a 2-minute walk from the train station door. It's not very far, but I would rather park closer to the train station than have to go around, because that's like a bit of a back street when I'm on my own. So I'm overheating, which is not ideal. Something, I'm really warm actually, and something else that isn't ideal is that I need to pee, and Doncaster train station toilets are disgusting. But I don't think I can hold it until I get on the train, and train toilets aren't that much better. So my train's in 35 minutes. I'm going to go and get myself a very overpriced protein bar from WH Smith's because I forgot to put one in my bag, and pee, because I really desperately need to do that, and then wait for my train to London, hopefully get some pages in, because I also desperately need to do that.
We could let it ride. What did you say? I quit being overthinking about everything. Give it up, tell you what I wanna say right now. 'Cause I could do the John Hughes kind of cliche. But either way, I need to say anything.
Okay, we're back in the car. That train was delayed. It was only like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. But it is 9:40, so I'm going to get home at like bang on 11. I did have a really nice day today. I'll tell you a little bit more about it tomorrow, because I actually don't think that I vlogged all that much. But the most important thing that I have to tell you, don't get excited, is that I did not finish my book. Who's surprised? I'm on page 357, so I have exactly 100 pages left. I may read a chapter. I may read 2 when I get home, because it is before midnight, and I want to say I don't have to be up early tomorrow, but I do, because I need to edit pretty much all of this vlog. I've done like 10 minutes of it, and now I also need to finish my book, so I don't want to stay up ridiculously late, but it would be okay if I read a couple of chapters to wind down, and then we'll just have to finish the rest in the morning and make do. So I was going to eat my croissant because I went and got a wrap. The afternoon tea was very filling, very nice, although the scones were actually more of a bread texture, which is fine, but just don't call it a scone if it's a bread texture. you know, because that's not a scone. But it's always awkward, like when I'm coming back, because I'm not hungry at the time that I'm like going to the train station, but I know that I'm going to be hungry before I get home. So I stopped at a little bakery and I got a wrap, and because it was like the end of the day, he was like, do you want an almond croissant for free? And I was like, oh, is it free food? Yes, please. But that would obviously be a lot of food. So I haven't eaten it, but I will have that for breakfast, a nice little Saturday treat. I was actually going to make apple and cinnamon porridge, but I guess I'll do that on Sunday as well. But anyway, I got an hour and 15-minute drive home. I am going to actually just pop a couple of eye drops in. My eyes aren't too bad, but night driving with dry eyes is literally the worst time to have dry eyes, because the worst side effect of dry eyes to me is that the lights go like starbursty and like the street lights have halos around them, so we definitely don't want that. But yeah, good day, solid day. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. I was just filming a little B-roll to fit into my vlog, which I'm obviously editing right now, and I turned around and this was happening. Brie? Bunny, you alright? What's going on? Are you stuck? Do you need a rescue? Oh, there she is. What's happening? What on earth has been going on? Oh, stop snorting for that. There we go. Bubba! Oh, your jammies are falling off. Oh no. What happened? Did she get stuck? I think she did. Should we take your pajamas off now? Because you finished watching your film with your dad. There we go. There we go. Jumpers off. Come on. You don't want them off. Ah. What happened? Good morning. Hi, how are you? I'm actually okay, you know. I have a little bit of a headache, so I've been drinking some water. I might get some electrolytes. But I got home at bang on 11. I had a good solid like 8.5 hours sleep, got up at 9:30, which actually thinking about it, why does my watch say I slept for 8.5 hours when I was definitely in bed by midnight and I got up at 9:30? I don't remember it taking me a while to fall asleep, but maybe it did. I got a decent sleep in. I have just realized that, oh no, never mind. I thought that the tassel of the bookmark in here was stuck in the zip, but it's survived. We're all good. Yeah, I got up this morning, had my coffee, had my leftover croissant, and I've done 45 minutes of editing and I've read a couple of chapters. So I think my plan for the day is to edit between 45-minute editing sections and 45-minute reading sections, because both the vlog and the book need to be done at about the same time. Saying that though, I can read the book during sprints tonight. I can't edit the video during sprints. So technically I should be prioritizing the video, but when I work weekends, and I do work one weekend a month, I try not to work weekends, but obviously with things like Patreon, I understand, and like book club live shows, I understand that people have different schedules. Some people can only really do this stuff on weekends, so I do some sort of live show at least one weekend a month for those people who can only really join weekend live shows. But I do take it a little bit easier, so I'm not like pedal to the metal working today. Everything's a little bit more relaxed. I do want to make, there's a TikTok trend going around at the minute that's like, unfortunately I do love, with like a bit of B-roll footage in the back and just like 10 things that like you like that are really obvious, or like it's unfortunate. Like for me, one of the things I'm going to put is like seasonal lattes, because everybody loves those, and like angsty, dramatic romances, because oh my god, of course I do, you know, like that kind of thing. I don't feel like I'm conveying it very well, but I know the vibe, and I want to do something like that while it's happening and popping off right now. And then I also don't have anything for Sunday ready, so I need to think about that. But otherwise it is the vlog and the book for the vlog that we need to focus on. In terms of yesterday, just want to touch upon that. Stunning afternoon tea. Still salty about those scones though. I don't think I'll ever forget the scones that weren't scones. Just because it's so confusing to me why they're called scones. Why am I calling them scones actually? I say scones. Regardless, they were not as advertised, but the cakes were so good. There was this chocolate hazelnut one that was beautiful, and I enjoyed the sandwiches as well. So overall, great day in London. Hafsa Faisal is so cool. Actually, I really enjoyed speaking with her during the afternoon tea. We discussed a lot of important topics. I discussed New Girl with her husband, and we talked about our favourite Office episodes, which was nice. I also talked to her a little bit about We Hunt the Flame, which was one of my favourite books of the... No, I'm like dented the cover a little bit. And this is one of those that has, you know, like the plastic covers that peel on it. So that is going to be a problem. I do have the ebooks of these though, because I got the first one on ebooks somehow, maybe a 99p ebook deal, and I read it and I loved it. And the second one came up on a 99p ebook deal. So I got that one. And then I was working with, I think it was Books to Door, and I picked up the physical copies through Books to Door after I really enjoyed book one. I have had them signed and personalized. This was like a 4-star read for me, but a very, very strong 4, which is how it ended up on my favorite book. So I think probably 2023. So I was happy to have them signed and personalized. And I love this series so much. It is about this woman who is the huntress, and she can go into this cursed forest that nobody else can go into. But everyone thinks that she's a man. So she's hired by the Sultan to find this artifact that she believes is going to fix all of the problems in the world, because something happened and it messed up like the climate of the entire area, like the world actually. So places that were supposed to be hot and are really, really cold, and it snows, and the architecture and the societal structure aren't designed to deal with this weather. So it's causing a lot of problems. So she thinks that this artifact that she's going to find will fix all of these, but the Sultan is actually just using her to get it for himself. And he sends his son, who is an assassin, after her to kill her after she has retrieved the object. It is a little bit of a fantasy romance, and it reminds me of all that nostalgic, good, solid fantasy romance like Throne of Glass, where there is a really strong plot, but also like a really good romance in there as well. So after really loving this one, I really wanted to get to this one, and I've actually put this on my reread and resume TBR, like everything is these days, because I really want to reread this before I get into this. But yeah, she was really cool. So I'm so glad that I got to attend that event. Thank you so much to Fairy Loop for inviting me. It was a nice little day out. And yeah, now we're having a nice little day in. I'm in my sweatpants because that is the mode of the day. I'm just going to get through it, just going to get some stuff done, some reading, some editing. And I didn't get anything else in London yesterday, actually, while we're on the topic. The book, The Ever Queen, it was released on Thursday. I thought, because when in my little planning section, I told you guys that I was going to get it on Tuesday and make a reel. I thought it was released on Tuesday. I realised I got the date wrong, and it's actually the 18th. It was released on Thursday. So I went to Waterstones, didn't have it. Ran across London to Forbidden Planet before the event, didn't have it. Went to Notting Hill to Saucy Books, didn't have it. So I've now ordered it to be delivered to me from Saucy Books. But like, where are the books? Who's hoarding the books? Why does the massive Waterstones at Piccadilly not have a pretty, I would say like a, not a super hyped one, because it is like a repub of an indie, but they had like plenty of copies of The Ever King. So how do they not have a delivery of a book the day after it's released? Where are the books? Because I even went on the Waterstones website, and you have the option, like if you type in the book and you click on click and collect, you can type like your closest store and it'll tell you whether they have, if it says that you can click and collect within a couple of hours, that means that they have them in there on the shelves. But there was no option. No Waterstones have the book. Where is the book? I want it so bad. I've just read The Ever King and I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm becoming a bit of an LJ Andrews fan. So that was my main task of the day. And in terms of my book, I will of course be giving you my full thoughts on the end of this very, very soon, so I won't say too much, but there's actually a really creepy horror element been added into this, which I didn't expect and was massively giving me the ick on the train back last night. So I'm interested to see how that, because we've had like people going missing throughout this, which is a key part of especially one of the perspectives plot, and it was a bit sinister anyway, but then as it's kind of built throughout the book, it's actually got really, really creepy and unsettling, and I'm actually not looking forward to the resolution, because I feel like it's going to play a big part of the series as a whole, and it was not on my bingo board for this trilogy, I can't lie. So I did not finish either my vlog or my book before sprint started. I'm sprinting right now. I have lost my book though, actually. Oh, I've put it over here. I literally only got up to grab my memory card, so I have no idea why I thought it would be a good idea to take my book with me, but I have now finished A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. This definitely took a different turn than I expected it to, with, like I said, those slight horror elements that we have in here. Honestly, parts of this I felt were like a fantasy soap opera. They are sinister on a level that I did not expect from this epic fantasy series, especially when I have read a series by the same author set in the same world. There are some quite predatory characters I feel in here. The vibes that I'm definitely getting, I'm hoping, no, it definitely is predatory. I can't remember how old some of our characters are in here, but the way that some of the immortal creatures behave around them made me really, really uncomfortable, and that kind of theme only really got stronger and creepier the further into this book that I got. So that was unexpected, but I enjoyed this book. I did. Like with the majority of John Gwynne books, I did find this to be quite sad at the end. I'm actually like genuinely upset with part of how this book wrapped up, because there are some things about this book that I didn't love, and it's not necessarily a criticism of the book. I wouldn't say that like I didn't like things because they were bad. I just preferred some character perspectives over others, and the direction that some of my favorite character perspectives went in were not especially favorable ones, and so I am upset about that, especially because of like the characters I feel that I was most attached to throughout this book. But I do like where the story is going. I think the twist of what the next arc in this world is going to be came as a great surprise to me. Definitely did not expect it, but I'm kind of here for it, and I still don't know what the resolution is going to be in this, which is exciting to kind of not know how it's going to wrap up. Because if we think about The Faithful and the Fallen, the general premise of that is that there's this prophecy that the bright star and the black sun are going to rise up, and the whole world is going to split into two and unite between one of them, and these two are going to battle it out, and they're avatars for this good and bad god. So like you hear that synopsis and you're like, okay, so the bright star is going to win. The bright star is going to kill the bad guy, because that's how it goes. That's how fantasy stories go. But reading this and knowing what the issue is going to be within this series and thinking about how it's going to play out, I don't know how we're going to resolve this. Like, I don't know what the end game is going to be for this series. I feel like there's only one ideal conclusion, and because the books in this series are actually pretty short in comparison to The Faithful and the Fallen, I don't feel like that is what the resolution is going to be. I feel like we need a lot more space in the series for that. So I think we're going to get an imperfect resolution, maybe to leave space for some more books in this world going forward. So I'm excited to see what this one has in store for me, especially regarding perspectives, because if this is like The Faithful and the Fallen, we only actually had 4 perspectives in here. I realized when I was giving you the synopsis, I kept telling you guys that one of the main perspectives is a member of the Order of the Bright Star, and that is just not true. I lied. I mean, there is one, but that's not how I would identify them as a character, and it's not how I did identify them to you either. So I'm expecting a couple of new perspectives. I'm not sure who they would be, and the ones that we had in The Faithful and the Fallen added in were not ones that I predicted either, so I expect it to be somebody unexpected, shall we say. The first chapter of the next book is in here though, but it is from a character perspective we've already had, so that gave me exactly nothing. I did actually read a short story that was included in the back of here, which is called The Greatest Battle. I typically don't read these things usually. I don't really care about extra content. Like, bonus content for the most part is unnecessary. Like, it's a little add-on if you want it, and most of the time I don't. But reading through this book made me feel especially nostalgic for some of the characters that I know and love from The Faithful and the Fallen, especially because, like I said, we're following some characters in here who are like, oh, I'm the great-great-grandson of X, Y, and Z, and I missed some of the OG characters. So when I saw the little bonus story was following Corbin, I did decide to read it. It was only 15 pages, completely unnecessary if you're thinking about reading it. Only read it if you want to. It is not an integral part of the story in any way, shape, or form, and actually it had quite a lot of fighting in it, which, I mean, this is a very military, battle-heavy series, so I shouldn't be surprised. But for a 15-page novella, I expected it to focus a little bit more on the sweeter moments between the characters, which there was some of that. But yeah, it was fine. Nothing really to report on that. Just wanted to let you guys know that I read it. I gave this book 4 stars overall. I think it's very promising, and I'm very excited to see where the series is going to go. I think what particularly excites me about this one is that I'm seeing a much less predictable story unfolding than in The Faithful and the Fallen, and that intrigues me because I love to be surprised and taken aback, and maybe this is going to do that. So that brings us to the end of this vlog. Hip 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 hooray. Only almost 24 hours later than I wanted this to be done, but I hope you enjoyed your little week with me. This is like a mix between a regular weekly reading vlog and a like, this is what I do in a week. Is this an accurate representation of a week? Not really. I don't normally go to 2 book events in a week, although I have been going to like 1 or 2 a month. I currently have no plans to go to any others though, and I do really appreciate being invited to these things above all else. I feel like BookTube is a platform in the book space in the UK that has just never had its moment. Before TikTok, nobody cared about BookTube. Everybody was focused on Instagram and blogs, and now TikTok is a thing. It's kind of been glossed over again, and now everything is about video content on a different platform, and I feel like we just keep getting skipped over. And even in the spaces that I'm entering at these events. Like, I am almost always the only YouTuber there, so it's very exciting for me to be invited. I'm very grateful to be invited and to have that recognition for my platform. You all know I'm very, very passionate about YouTube, like booktube specifically in the book internet space, because it's my baby. Like, I love it. I dedicate so much of my time and my life to it, and I'm happy to represent YouTube out there at these events hosted by publishers and like Fairy Loot. So I'm always open to events, like I'm always excited to attend them, but I don't take them for granted. Like, I don't necessarily expect to be invited to other things because I got to go to 2 events this week, you know what I mean? So like, I have nothing on in the future as of yet. I would love to be invited to more. It is such a privilege and I have an amazing time every single time, but it's not like I expect to. So over the last few months, yes, I've attended a lot of events, and that has become pretty regular for me to attend like a couple a month. But is it a typical week for me? Not necessarily, because I don't ever expect to continue to be invited. Every invite is a surprise pretty much. But yeah, I've had a really good week. It has been a bit of a busy one and I have felt a little run down, not because of it, but I think I was just hormonally inclined to feel that way anyway. And the fact that I've been here, there and everywhere and had kind of a lot on that I've been trying to juggle has only accentuated that I haven't been feeling my best. And now I'm in the middle of a busy weekend of live shows. I am hoping to take Monday off though. Got a lot of reading to do next week for Charlotte or Scrap It, but that's pretty much what I'm going to dedicate my Monday to. I need to decompress. I need a day where every moment of my time is not accounted for, and Monday is going to be that day for me. Monday is that girl. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this vlog if you've made it this far. Let me know if you did enjoy this vlog where I went into a little bit more detail about, I guess, what I was doing on a day-to-day basis regarding like content creation, as well as what I was reading. The next vlog that you are going to see on my channel is Shelve It or Scrap It. It has to be. If not, it's a cry for help, and I will definitely need some. So do stay tuned if you are at all interested. But like I said, I do hope you enjoyed this vlog if you made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go and nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.